and welcome back to Healing Gems. Thanks for joining me again today. So today we are going to do a short tap on feeling misunderstood and how chronic fatigue can make you feel quite isolated, the fact that people don't really get it, or what's going on with you, or all of that. So we're going to cover all of those kind of feelings that chronic fatigue and having such a long prolonged illness, which is very difficult for people to understand. Okay, so just close your eyes for a second, take a nice deep breath in and out, and you can do a big sigh or make a noise, get that tension out of your body and really start to engage with that feeling of feeling misunderstood. So you might feel it as a physical symptom, you might feel it as a frustration or an anger. So go inwards and see what you feel and really connect with that feeling. Okay, let's go. Even though this chronic fatigue and this illness make me feel so misunderstood, I feel like no one gets it. I feel like no one understands me. I feel like people think that I'm odd or weird or that I'm making it up. And that makes me sad. It makes me sad. It makes me angry because I know that I'm not. And I just feel like it's so unfair that I've got this illness that is an illness that people can't relate to or people can't understand or figure out. But even though I feel misunderstood, I mean, sometimes I don't even understand chronic fatigue, I choose to just soften my body a little bit. I choose to breathe slowly and deeply. And I choose to at least try to understand myself and the illness and how I got here, even if other people don't. Okay, tapping around the points. I just feel so angry that people don't understand, that people make flippant comments about, oh, it's all in your head, or how can you be all this long? It can't be that bad. Or people make comments like, oh, I feel tired too, so I know how you feel. It's like, no, you do not understand, because if you had the level of fatigue and symptoms that I have, you wouldn't be out doing what you're doing. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It makes me really bloody angry. And I know people are probably trying to understand. I know people are maybe trying to empathize or sympathize with me. But when they make stupid comments like that, it just makes my blood boil. It makes my blood boil. It makes me feel isolated. It makes me feel like they really don't understand or haven't listened to how I feel. Even like family members or close friends who I thought understood this, they make a remark which makes me think that they don't. And it just makes me feel isolated. It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel angry. I just feel so angry that no one understands this. And I get frustrated that I have to repeat myself or try and explain. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not clear enough when I try to explain. Or maybe people just aren't interested enough to understand. And I feel people just misunderstand the whole illness, thinking, oh, it's in your head. Like I had a comment today, oh, it's all in your head, isn't it? Or it's partly got to be in your head. And I try to explain it is in my head in the fact that it's my brain causing these issues, but the symptoms are real. So it's not in my head. Makes me so goddamn angry. And then I give up trying to explain what it actually is or how it makes me feel. Because people just don't get it. People just don't get it. And it's just isolating. Because if I broke my leg or I had a disease like cancer or something that people can relate to a little bit better, people would understand it a little bit more. But because chronic fatigue is so odd in the fact that it comes and goes, or it comes in waves, and 1 minute you can look fine and the next minute you're out for the count, people can't understand that. They can't relate to that because it's not part of their experience. So even though I get frustrated, sad, mad, I choose to try and forgive them for any flippant comments that they might make. I try to forgive myself for getting angry. I try to put myself in their shoes. Like, if I didn't have this, how understanding would I be? And even if I feel misunderstood by everybody else and I feel alone, I choose to try at least to understand myself. And I choose to know that I'm not crazy. I choose to know that these physical symptoms are real. And they are just caused by my brain and miswiring, misfiring. And I choose to be sympathetic and empathetic to myself. It drives me crazy. Especially when people ignore me when I say I'm not feeling well. That's even more heartbreaking. It's even more heartbreaking when you try to explain to somebody that you're having a bad moment, that you just don't have the energy to do whatever you need to do, and they just don't say anything or are very dismissive of it. Like, oh, you're always ill, aren't you? I had that comment again today. If only they knew how heartbreaking comments like that are. Because I don't want to be ill. I never asked for this. I mean, I wouldn't even wish this on an arch enemy if I had one. So even though people can be really hurtful with their comments, especially when they come from people that love and care for us, and we love and care for them, I choose to just let these comments go. Because me getting frustrated or angry or annoyed about the comments or at the person isn't going to serve me. In fact, it's just going to make the whole illness worse, because my body will tense up, I'll get stressed and release even more harmful stress chemicals into my body. So maybe I can just be like, okay, that's their opinion, that's their way of dealing with it. Or I'm going to swear now. Or you can even be fuck you, and in your head. Fuck you. If that makes you feel better. So even though I have this disappointment in people not understanding, or it's been going on so long, it's just become the norm, and empathy dwanes. But empathy and sympathy and understanding for myself does not have to. I can give myself the love, the sympathy, the empathy, the complete understanding of the illness. I can give myself that. And I choose to know I've always got me, my higher being. Maybe it's a God that you believe in. Maybe a relative that's passed over. I've always got that with me to draw strength from. Even if it's my higher consciousness that's going to tell me that I will be okay. And I don't need other people to rally around me all the time or give me support, because I can support myself. I'm strong. I'm courageous. I am empowered. And I have the knowledge. I have the motivation to get myself well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here right now tapping. So yes, it can be disappointing. And I allow myself to cry if I want to about it. I allow myself to get angry about it just for now and tap it out. And even if people do misunderstand me or don't give me the response that I want, maybe when I'm saying that I don't feel well or I'm having a crash or a dip, I give myself support. I give myself support. I give myself the support that I need. Because I am brave. It takes a lot of courageousness and bravery to get through this. It takes a lot of strength, willpower, and just self-belief that it's even possible to heal from this. So you know what? Even if I feel misunderstood by others, don't get the reactions I want from others, I choose to just give myself a hug. I choose to give myself a hug and place my hands on my heart and tell myself I am going to be okay. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with me. Because most people who actually get chronic fatigue are really nice people, are genuine, highly sensitive, put others first, empathetic, kind. Did I mention kind? People. So I know I am a good person. I know I am a loving person. And chronic fatigue has just come my way to teach me a few lessons. Chronic fatigue has just come my way to make me re-evaluate my life, to see what's serving me and what's not. And yes, it's a bloody hard way to learn and change. It is. But it's here, and not acknowledging it isn't going to do anything to get rid of it. And getting upset with other people for not behaving the way that we want them to, or not understanding us the way we feel like we want to be understood. And really, does anyone really feel understood by the majority of people? I don't know. We're all so different as human beings. It probably just affects highly sensitive people like you and I more, because we have this need for such a deep connection with people. We have a need for this love and support from other people. 2 seconds. Come here. I want to show you my cat, who actually does bring me a lot of support when I maybe don't feel supported by humans. Animals are great for offering support. So even if I don't feel supported, I support myself, and I choose to love, honour and respect me at all times. Okay, give yourself a massive, massive hug. Well done. It is difficult for people to understand chronic fatigue. I mean, it's taken a long time for us to be able to understand it ourselves, and we're probably all still learning as things develop with chronic fatigue treatments and understandings and how to heal from it. So try to be kind to yourself, be kind to other people. It is hard for people, especially when it's a loved one who sees you being ill a lot of the time. It's hard sometimes for people to acknowledge that, to want to see it, because it's heartbreaking for them to see you go through it. So I guess we have to give a little bit of compassion to other people as well. Okay, so if you haven't already, please subscribe. Trying to get my numbers up to 1,000. So yeah, thank you. Please leave a comment below about how you might deal with feeling misunderstood and the words of reassurance that you might say to yourself. It's always great to share these things with others. But for now, namaste.